iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Welcome in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to the Darlington Raceway for the Trust Me Vodka 122. It's the Red Light Racing Series presented by RB Custom Rigs. Tonight, it is the track that they call Too Tough to Tame. They call it Too Tough to Tame as these drivers get in some cars that are a little bit tougher than normal. The 1987 Monte Carlo and the 1987 Ford Thunderbird is going to be the preferred vehicles of choice here tonight. Back in 1987, when these machines hit the track here for the real Southern 500, it was Dale Earnhardt able to walk away with a win. That was with Davey Allison also taking the pole position. Tonight, we won't see Davey Allison or Dale Earnhardt, unfortunately, as we have lost them through the community of stock car racing. But what we will see tonight are some of the best drivers, some drivers that don't live too far from the Darlington Raceway. James Skelton, Sean Butler, Justin Gann, and how about the hot shoe man of Sean Single? They're all here tonight as they are out onto the track qualifying. As we bring you for a live look here into the booth, race fans, we are ready to go. We hope you are all ready to watch the Trust Me Vodka 122 here tonight for the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series presented by RB Custom Rigs. Race fans, you know, we talk to you on a weekly basis here from the virtual Turn 3 Racing Studios, and you know what? You know what really keeps us all geared up and going here to bring you these great, amazing broadcasts? It's the custom rigs that we have. You need to head on over to RB Custom Rigs today and get yourself a rig. Not only to do some of this wonderful broadcasting and streaming that you see here on a weekly basis, but also to get out here on the track with these drivers and get behind the wheel of a 1987 Monte Carlo or a Ford Thunderbird. Tonight, these cars are going to be slipping and sliding. Who can dance with the lady in black the best? We're going to find out. Remember, the setups here tonight are brought to us by Gen X Racing. They are the ones that built us a wonderful setup here tonight to go racing here at the Darlington Raceway. Hope you're ready. The lights are going down. The qualifying times are about to, qualifying is going to conclude. They're out there putting times in already, race fans. Let's head back down to the track and get ready here tonight. It will be 90 laps of heart-pounding V8 racing action here at the Darlington Raceway. A beautiful look here as the sun is starting to set. The lights will come on as the stars are getting ready. Currently, 33 drivers have logged into the server here tonight, and they will get ready to go racing. They call it one of the toughest tracks to race. What, you want to know why? It's because all four corners here are different. Turns 1 and 2 are banked, 25 degrees. Turn 3 and 4, which is a little bit of a shorter distance, that's 23 degrees of banking. It is like an egg. Turns 1, 2 are not the same as 3 and 4. It is a very difficult track, and we will see who has the hot shoe tonight to be able to park it in victory lane. 2 races are in the books. This is round number 3, and this is how our starting lineup tonight is gonna look like. Brought to us by our friends over at Green Forest Tree Supply. Head on over to the greenforesttreesupply.com and get your shrubs today. Get your tree. You want a walnut tree? They have the walnut trees for you. Head on over there today, get it, and get it planted before the springtime. Starting lineup looks like this for the Trust Me Vodka 122. It is going to be Max Terrialt starting P number 1. To his outside, the driver out of South Carolina, living right down the road, it'll be the 86 of James Skelton. Starting in row number 2, driving the Trust Me Vodka 88, it is Sean Butler. Starting to his outside, driving the Low Line Racing number 18, it'll be James Heater. The Rev Racing, the Rev Esports driver, the number 61 of Dalton Williamson, will go 5th. 6th position here tonight, I go to the 01 South Carolina driver, Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. Starting in the 7th position for the 4X number 30, it'll be Justin Gann. Starting in position number 8 off his back-to-back wins in the SK Modified division, it'll be Sean Single. Starting 9th will be Zach Mitchell in his number 24 entry. And how about the Full Throttle Racing entry? New sponsorship on the side of this car. It'll be the 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. Starting in the 11th position, driving the number 62, it'll be Ethan Troutman. Joe Shrano will be scheduled in the Green Forest Tree Supply to roll off in the 12th position. 13th here tonight, driving for the Shrano Brothers race team, the number 3 of Tony Shrano. Starting in 17th tonight, starting in 14th, the number 17 of Tim Combs. Starting in the 15th position, driving the number 31, it'll be Michael Trevarthen. Eric the Man Johnson will roll off P number 16 tonight. Bob Jenkins in the 989 out of Virginia will roll 17th, and then it'll be Mark Jenkins right next door, the 999 machine. He'll roll off 18th. So it's a full row of the Jenkins. Starting 19th, it's our friend from north of the border driving the 938 entry. It's the Beefy Motorsports K1 Graphics Liquid Molly entry of Brandon Feeney. Jeffrey Souza in the number 4 will roll off 20th, rounding out our top 20 machines. 21st to go to the number 64 of Jason Wells. DJ Anderson, a winner this season. He'll roll the number 51 off in the 22nd position. 23rd here tonight will be Thomas Talon in his number 909 machine. Joshua Buckley will roll off the number 2 in the 24th spot. Chris Hammett goes 25th. 26th to Rob Higgins. 27th to Tim Williams. 28th tonight will go to the driver, the number 15 of Dustin Gainey. Then it'll be Bruce Potter in the 29th position. 30th goes to Chris Haney, Kevin O'Brien, and Doug Neal, 32nd. 33rd is Travis Minto here tonight, and Bob Higgins will round out our 34-car field here at the Darlington Raceway. Cars are on the track, and we're ready to go, race fans. Geared up tonight for the Trust Me Vodka 122. Here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. It's Monday night. The week starts now. Max Terriel, James Skelton will be the first ones into turn number 1. The 2 drivers that will start on the second row are Sean Butler there in the throwback classic Trust Me Vodka machine with the Tide ride to his outside of James Heater. It's Darlington. The lights are on. The track is still hot and slippy, and we are getting ready to go racing here out of turn number 4. The green flag is in the air for the first time tonight, and we are racing 90 laps on the docket. 34 drivers take the green flag, and we are racing here at the Darlington Raceway. Down into turn 1, a couple of them already bouncing it off the wall. You heard the scrapes, and look at them all come off turn 2. It's Max Terriel with a commanding lead already down the back straightaway. One driver already down off the pace. I believe that's going to be the number 77 of Doug Neal. He's just going to try and tag the back of the field. Doesn't want to push the envelope here in the early stages of this one. Coming to complete lap number 1. I mean, the number 42 of Max Terriel. He'll lead the first lap of the evening. One of them going around. Caution flag is already out, as I believe a couple drivers have gone for the spin cycle here already. Looks like Mark Jenkins in the 999 machine is involved in this one, as we're checked to see to make sure who is all where. Looks like Mark Jenkins, Kevin O'Brien possibly involved, maybe DJ Anderson also, as you see him rolling around the speedway here. Or have to go back. We know it's going to involve Mark Jenkins for sure, as he was a little bit slower. There's the Levi Garrett entry. The Jeff Bodine throwback. Oh, he comes down the speedway. There was the 51 down to the inside. No hard contact for her. I'm not sure if that's actually the 41, as we don't have a 41 on the timing and scoring here tonight. The only 41 is the 941 of Bob Higgins. So Mark Jenkins goes for a ride. We'll see if we can back out our camera angle here and see what happened to the 999. There's Jenkins going down into the corner. Oh, there's DJ Anderson in the police entry getting into the back. And there you see the Advanced Auto Parts number 41 come in there, hitting Mark Jenkins into the driver's side door. So that is hard contact for the driver out of Virginia. So a couple drivers here will go down pit road to take this time and see if they can get some damage fixed. Right now, it looks like Mark Jenkins will stay out. They do have a tire limit here tonight at the Darlington Raceway, so not all these drivers are thinking it is time to come down to put some rubbers on. They will stay out and just try to turn a couple laps before they come to pit road. Still Max Terriel out front. He did lead the first lap under green flag. He did get to the start-finish line before that caution flag came out, so it was Max Terriel leading the first official lap of green flag racing. James Skelton did not get a great start in the Maxwell House Coffee entry, the throwback machine there for that Ford Thunderbird. I believe that was it, I want to say Bobby Labonte, but race fans, don't hold me to that. I could be wrong. You know, back in 1987, which these cars mimic. Well, let's just tell you, the gentleman behind the microphone here tonight, we were not around to watch the Southern 500 in 1987. I can tell you what I saw, which was Dale Earnhardt was the winner of that race. It was a rain-shortened race back then. The one positive thing about iRacing is we will not have a rain-shortened race here tonight. We will race all at least 90 laps, maybe even see some overtime here tonight. And I talk about possibly seeing some overtime, race fans, and don't get me wrong, as we had one caution flag here in the early stages of this one. This track is too tough to tame. They call it that. That is the name that drivers go by. Well, talking to these drivers, they say the 1987 Thunderbird in Monte Carlo that you see out onto the speedway here tonight, it's one of the toughest cars to drive. We said that in the pre-race, and we're not meaning as it's just a terrible car. We're just saying that their drivers don't get a lot of seat time behind the wheels of these beasts. And I say beasts because they have the most horsepower of the stock cars that we see out there in the iRacing service today. Remember, Bill Elliott set one of the fastest times ever at the Talladega Super Speedway in a Ford Thunderbird. So with a tough track and a tough car with not a lot of seat time, you can see as we might get some extra laps here tonight. iRacing pace car lights do go off. Those drivers that did head to pit road include Tony Strano, DJ Anderson, Tim Combs, Thomas Talent, Eric Johnson, Bruce Potter, Jeffrey Souza, Jason Wells, Chris Hammett, Kevin O'Brien, Mark Jenkins, and it looks like one driver did not take the green flag here tonight. It's the driver of the 87 of Keith Haney. So Haney will be scored as our 34th driver out of the race here tonight. Unfortunately, an early end to his Darlington run. So with the lights being out this time by, we will go back green flag racing with 5 laps officially completed. 1 under the green flag, and I believe the other ones we have paced around the Darlington Raceway. The lights you can really see are on. The flash bulbs are flashing from all the race fans as they're trying to take pictures of all these beautiful cars. We'll work our way through some of these historic throwbacks a little bit later on through the race as the iRacing pace car is down on the way. We'll come back into the restart zone here and see which driver will accelerate into turn 1 the fastest. Here the motors come to life. This time out of turn 2, it will still be Max Terriel, but right now he has the Trust Me Vodka 88 wheeling and dealing behind him. The all-black number 61, the Rev Racing driver. Oh, Dalton Williamson sideways skating the number 61. Murdoch having to watch where he goes with the 61 entry. Somebody was sideways. I believe that might have been the Sean Single machine. As you see the John Deere Thunderbird, the number 11, with some right front damage here already. The driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts is people still bouncing it off the outside wall. It is too tough to tame, and everybody's earning the Darlington stripe here early. Everybody trying to sketch it out. Oh, somebody down to the inside here. That is the driver of the 907. That is Tim Williams, our friend from north of the border, the Canadian bacon eater. It was his birthday last week, and I believe he turned, well, I'll just let you guys see what the old overlay tells us here, and we'll call that his age. Some racing going on a little bit farther back. That's the Kevin O'Brien entry down below the white line, letting a couple of these drivers pass. Kevin O'Brien trying to make a long run here tonight. That is actually Thomas Talent, we're being told, from the drivers out of the infield. The driver of the number 41 Advanced Auto Parts entry who was involved in that wreck. Thomas Talent driving the 909 for everybody following along on the timing and scoring. Smoke out in front of Thomas Talent here, but we will stay green flag racing. Just a little bit of internet connection issues for one of the drivers. Green flag racing, it's still Max Terriel. Does a 3-car breakaway now at this point here at the front of the field. There you see the number 42 MK Medic machine. Sean Butler, James Skelton also right here in the Maxwell House Coffee entry. Josh Buckley getting passed by the number 51 of DJ Anderson. You notice on the timing and scoring, when you do see the number 51 there in the 18th position, you notice that he is green. With fellow competitor, the driver of the 86 of James Skelton. That just indicates to all you race fans that DJ Anderson has won a race this season already in the RB Custom Rigs, and he has locked himself into the playoffs as he tries to work around the 707 of Mr. Williams. Williams giving him the outside lane here. That is the preferred lane around the Darlington Raceway. Pass for the position right here. That was Michael Trevarthen getting around the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. So the killer T's right here, swapping the positions for 11th and 12th. Nothing changed out front here as it's still the 42 of Max Terriot with the 88 of Sean Butler in tow, trying to get around. Look at Sean Butler. He's willing to put it on the line a little bit more as he goes to the outside. Can he get a run down the front straightaway? He'll give Max Terriot a little bit of a bump. Now he'll bob out a line, but he's not going to have anything to do with it. That run is going to kind of end right there going into turn number 1. Right on board here with our leader of Max Terriot as he works. Lap number 12 off turn number 2. Still a 3-car breakaway here at the front of the field tonight. Sean Single pressuring the number 30, the RB Custom Rig, Chevy Monte Carlo for Justin Gann, the driver out of Virginia. Justin Gann supporting those RB Custom Rigs, our title sponsor here tonight. Race fans, you want to race the 1987 machines at the famous Darlington Raceway? Head on over to RB Custom Rigs today and get yourself a custom rig PC to get on to the iRacing.com server today. All these drivers feeling each other out still as James Heater right now. Oh, he just got around Dalton Williamson. Then he's going to park the tide right up against the outside fence. Ricky Rudd would not be happy right now. Darrell Waltrip also ran the Tide Ride back in the 80s. So right now, James Heater's going to lose a spot. As 2 of them up into the outside wall. The Turbo Dork Paint Machine. Ryan O'Donnell, we talked about Ryan having a new sponsor this week here on the iRacing.com platform, and it's always good to see new sponsors come to life as these 2 drivers still stepping over at the Turbo Dork Machine, getting the Darlington stripe early. You know, and you're wondering, race fans, what Turbo Dork is? Well, we had to go look it up. It's a model in the hobby paint company that specializes in metallic paints, color shifting paints. Their slogan, Radical Metallic Paints. Make your gray day colorful. So great to see them on board here with Ryan O'Donnell. Right now, Ryan running into the 6th position. A couple drivers back here that got some Darlington stripes also. There you see Zach Mitchell in the number 24. That's Michael Trevarthen, and I believe that is the 62 of Troutman, the AMCO sponsor. Dustin Gainey back here running in 14th. He's having himself a great night. He has moved up 14 positions since the drop of the green flag. And I say he's having himself a great run. Well, that's because back in practice, Dustin Gainey said he couldn't find the edge. Where was the edge with this bias ply tire on these 1987 cars? He couldn't figure it out. Was having a very tough time. He qualified outside the top 25. Just inside the top 30 is where he qualified tonight. And now he is up running in position number 14. So it's good to see him have a good run here in the early stages. We'll see and check up with him a little bit later on to see if that run continues. The 909 of Travis Minto, the brother of Brandon Minto, who pretty much despises those 1987 cars. Travis, on the other hand, says, I really like to hang it out and see where the edge is. He's driving the Donut Media throwback entry. Mo Power, babe, on the side of that car. If you're not familiar with Donut Media, I can tell you that some of my favorite videos to go watch on the YouTube platform. Also follow them over on Facebook.com. Just out ahead of them, that is the number 3 of Tony Strano. He's throwing it back to the great Dale Earnhardt as he just high-sided around Rob Higgins in the checkered flag auto supply number 40. And right now, Higgins falls back to the 22nd position. He has picked up 4 spots today. Mark Jenkins is back out onto the speedway for all you Mark Jenkins fans out of the Virginia area that are tuning in here tonight. The 999 is running back into the 31st position with heavy damage to his Monte Carlo, so it's going to be an uphill battle for Mark Jenkins. He's going to need a couple of his competitors to fall out here tonight to find himself back into a very good finishing position. The right-hand side of this Levi machine looks really good. Unfortunately, that driver's side and the rear have been crinkled up. That's not what you want to see, and that's going to make it for a tough night. Look at your race leaders, though. They're coming into lap traffic. There you see Thomas Talent. He'll move down to the inside. He lets Max Terriot get around the outside groove. Right on board here with the driver of the number 42 of Max Terriot. What do you say we take a lap at least here on board with Max? As you see Max working around lap traffic, but he's got somebody in the mirror knocking on the back door. It's the 88 of Sean Butler. They did just get around the lap car. The checkered flag auto supply 941 of Bob Higgins, who runs into the 32nd position. Your leaders are putting on one heck of a pace here tonight. Sean Butler just behind him. He's still got Max Terriel right there. And don't look now. I believe that is old Richard Murdoch back there lurking in the background as Thomas Talent comes to pit road. That is the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. He was out here practicing early tonight. 2 hours ago before we came live onto the air here tonight for all you race fans that are tuning in all over the world. Richard Murdoch was out there hosting practice sessions trying to get better. So Murdoch, practice sessions that he put up really helped him out here tonight. Zach Mitchell putting the pressure on for the, looks like that is the 12th position according to our timing and scoring charts. Thomas Talent, though, still down on pit road with a 909 entry. Looks like that is Bob Higgins down to the inside there, the driver of the Coors entry. Bob is one of the drivers that, well, it says he's 20 years old in the league, race fans, and I talked to him before the race. He said he has the 20-year-old mind to go sim racing, and he's just crazy enough to do it. But he also said his body feels like it's a lot older, and he still remembers the 1987 Darlington Southern 500. He could tell you that Dale Earnhardt set on a blistering pace that day. He still remembers it like it was yesterday. Bob Higgins right now back into the 32nd position. There you see Joshua Buckley in the number 2 Miller Lite entry. Rusty Wallace would have ran that car back in the day, and it still looks beautiful as ever. Every time it hits the speedway, the old Rusty Wallace throwbacks always have a soft spot for us here, as it looks like somebody blinks out right there in front of Buckley. That's where the smoke came from. As Sean Butler battling for the race lead here down into turn 1. It is 4 cars under a blanket. Sean Butler's going to try it. Oh, he's going to put Max Terriel into the wall. The 42 of Max Terriel had the outside groove as Sean Butler comes through there, slides up the raceway, and he's going to give a little slap to the 42, and that's going to give the Trust Me Vodka Ohio driver the race lead here. But boy, oh boy, well, we have to go back and watch that one as Sean Butler got to the inside there. Let's go back here on the replay, see if we can catch that pass. There you see him down into the corner. The Trust Me Vodka 88 down, slides up just a little bit. This isn't 3 and 4. Watch them once they come down here into turn number 1. Max Terriel gets a great run off the high side, and then he will throw it down here into turn number 1. Terriel has it, and then right there you see, oh, just slight contact there from the right rear of the 88 of Butler to the left front of the 42. That's what just sent him into the outside wall. He goes from first all the way back to 4th. And now he has damage on that number 42. There you see Sean Butler, so he takes over the race lead here on lap number 26, and now he has set sail. Max Terriel has fallen back here about a second and a half now from your race leader. Did they just knock the toe out of that machine, or is the car just damaged that much that it's a little slower now, or does he just have to get the bearings back up underneath him? Take a peek who's just behind him, running in the 5th position. It's still Justin Gann. He was able to get around James Heater when Heater went up into the outside wall. Ryan O'Donnell is still holding serve here into the 7th position. He has dropped back 1 spot since we talked about him last. Everybody trying to slice and dice their way through lap traffic. Look at the gaggle of cars back here. Sean Single leading this group. Troutman, the tail end of this 4-car, a little bit of a battle with Dustin Gainey closing in on him. Looks like Zach Mitchell is going to come to pit road. He'll be the first one out of your lead lap cars to come down. So Zach Mitchell in the Pepsi Cola number 24 comes to pit road here. A couple drivers have been to pit road, but that was under the caution flag to get some damage fixed. Who will be the next one to venture to pit road tonight? Sean Butler doesn't. He stays out. as we complete lap number 30. He still has James Skelton all over the back end. But one thing I got to say about James Skelton here tonight in the early stages of the year, like 30 laps of this one, is you have not seen the driver of the 86 really step out of the line here. Yes, he already has a win, but he really has something to prove here tonight. It's his home track on the iRacing.com platform. For the big cars that we're going to head to, Myrtle Beach would be the other track that would be considered a hometown track on iRacing.com for James Skelton, and he really wants this one here tonight. The 1987 cars is his, well, I'm going to say one of his favorite cars as of late here on iRacing since they came out about 14 weeks ago. He has been one of those big drivers that say we need to add this to the schedule. It's going to separate the boys from the men. And right now, he is one of the men that are out front here. Him and Butler have opened up about a second gap over Richard Murdoch, and then it looks like about a 2-second gap to Max Terrell, who runs into the 4th position with Justin Gann trailing about almost 5 seconds back behind your race leaders. Looks like the number 4 of Souza is coming to pit road. You see him come for 4 tires and fuel to his crew. James Skelton, we just talked about him running a clean race. Now he just got into the outside wall. Skelton getting the outside wall, and now looks like here comes the 88. Sean Butler will come to pit road here for the first time tonight. So your first race leader coming to pit road. It's the 88 of Butler. It's the 42 of Max Terrell also coming to pit road. Will this start to bring other drivers? Looks like currently this is going to be considered a 2-stop race here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. So far, 1 caution flag as, oh boy, we talk about it, and unfortunately it happens with your race leaders on pit road. Looks like the 57 of Bruce Potter has gone around to bring out the caution flag number 2. This is really going to shake the standings up here. We'll see if your Sean Butler machine enters his pit stall. He does. It looks like, though, Max Terrell, he just rolled on through. So he's going to try and stay on the lead lap to beat your leader. And I believe he's gonna. I believe Max Terrell will stay on the lead lap, where Sean Butler, on the other hand, he goes down in the Trust Me Vodka 88. He puts 4 fresh tires on, and now he's going to come out behind the 8 ball. This caution couldn't have came out at a worse time for those 2 drivers as they were running inside the top 5. Now we're going to wait to see where they all get shuffled back to. Well, let's take a look back here at this caution flag, though, for the driver of the number 59. Oh, comes off the corner, gets sucked into the safer barrier that they did not have, unfortunately, back in 1987. If the safer barrier wasn't there, the Stroker Ace machine may have been able to hold on to that. Let's see if we can grab a different angle here, watching the chicken pit machine. Yeah, you see him just get right up against the outside with the right side of that car, and it just gets sucked right around, and the caution lights come on. Drivers down pit road here currently. Everybody coming to pit road to see how bad their tires were. It was time to pit anyway for a lot of these drivers, and now they will have the advantage of coming down under caution and not having to worry about getting to one of the trickiest pit roads. Looks like Max Terrell stays out here. He'll take over the race lead. He should be able to lead a lap, and then he'll probably come down to pit road. Looks like it will be Richard Murdoch winning the battle off pit road, then James Heater, Ryan O'Donnell, Justin Gann, Dalton Williamson, Sean Single, Michael Trevarthen, Ethan Troutman, Dustin Gainey, and a terrible stop for the driver of that 86. There you see him. That is James Skelton. He is going to lose a ton of positions. Came down as, at the time, your race leader, but it looks like that crew pulled some of the fenders out on the right-hand side to try and get some clearance to the wheels of the driver for the 86 for the driver here tonight, so he can go out there and lean on it as hard as he can. Max Terrell now bringing his 42 to pit road. So that'll turn things over, it looks like, to the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. He should be the race leader when this all cycles back through. We got to thank tonight's sponsor here for the Darlington Raceway. It's the Trust Me Vodka 122. Are you in need of some vodka? You need to head on over to trustmevodka.com today and find your local retailer that has it, or order it online at their website at trustmevodka.com. You want vodka that is considered gluten-free or organic? Trust Me Vodka has you covered. Multiple flavors in the line, and I'm looking at their website, race fans. If they don't have a flavor that you don't like, you can request it. Email them at Trust Me Vodka. You can find that information over on their website. They also have bottled cocktails. For all you fans out there of vodka, I can tell you that us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we do dabble on the weekends, of course, not here on race night, to drink a couple cocktails. That, again, is trustmevodka.com. Head there today and pick up your bottle of vodka. Second caution flag of the night here, though. Take a look at the timing and scoring and find out where your favorite driver is right now. We can tell you that this man out of South Carolina will be the race leader when we go back here in just a couple of seconds. It's the 1987 Monte Carlo of Richard Murdoch. Starting to his outside on this restart will be the Tide Ride, the number 18 of James Heater. First driver with a win so far this season is the driver of the 86 of James Skelton. He's going to be restarting back into the 10th position. DJ Anderson is your other driver. There you see him. A lot of damage on the number 51. He'll restart back into position number 23. Sean Butler, we told you we'd keep an eye on the Butler entry. He's going to restart. It looks like currently 26th position on this restart, so that's not where he wanted to be. You can really see the lights now here as the cars work down the back straightaway. It'll be 38 laps completed when we take the green flag. You see a lot of the marbles down there. A lot of those drivers didn't want to deal with that when they came to pit road, so it's good they came under the caution flag to put 4 fresh tires and a full Sunoco race fuel in the tanks of these old Winston Cup machines. Green flag back out into the air. Here they come, marching into turn number 1 once again in the Trust Me Vodka 122. Murdoch going to lead us to turn 1. Will he have the advantage, or can James Heater keep it wound up and going? A couple drivers stepping over the line about mid-pack back, and they're going to bounce them off the wall. One of them hard up into the outside wall there. That's the Kevin O'Brien entry. Everybody tried to scatter to go around the inside of him. There's also the 59 of Bruce Potter down to the inside, so everybody got checked up, and Sean Butler had to come through the field there, and he's going to pick up a couple positions, but it will be Richard Murdoch leading the first lap back to the green flag, and boy, look at him back here. It looks like Jenkins. That is Rob Jenkins in the Skull Bandit machine, the old Harry Gant entry. He is making his way downtown right now, back into the top 10 for the first time here tonight, as Rob Jenkins now picks up position number 10 as he just got around Eric Troutman and Joe Strano. Now he'll work on one of the hottest drivers on the red light circuit as, Dustin Gainey overstepped the boundary down there into the corner. The number 15 will go up the track. He'll lose a couple spots now. There's 1, 2, 3 spots. One of them has gone around, I'm being told. And that's the Bruce Potter machine as he is down pit road on the back straightaway. We stay green flag racing for the time being. So how the dynamic of the race has changed since that caution flag came out. Murdoch, Heater, and Ryan O'Donnell now have all scooted away from the Justin Gannon, Dalton Williamson's machines. They are back here still out there, but they're running about a second and a half behind the race leaders. Look at James Skelton. He's picked up a bunch of positions since we came back racing. There's the 86. He runs currently 6th. He restarted in that 10th position. So he still has a lot of pace in the Maxwell House Coffee entry. All we need is an old Tim Richmond throwback, which I don't think we have here tonight. There's the Tide Bleach Ride. That is Brandon Feeney, who has worked himself now as he goes around the 64 of Jason Wells. That'll move Feeney into position number 16. Pass for the race lead, though, as, caution flag is going to be coming out here. A couple drivers going for a spin as it's going to clog the back straightaway. Parking lot back straightaway. There you see a couple drivers still being piled in. Sean Butler, who was the race leader at one point, he's involved. Joshua Buckley is involved. Eric Johnson involved. Doug Neal, Tim Williams, Zach Mitchell, Tony Strano, Brandon Feeney. A slew of drivers all involved here and involving one of your front runners of Sean Butler. Remember, Sean Butler got put to the back of the field when that caution flag came out earlier. Let's take a look back. We're going to have to dissect this one for quite a while. There you see the 62 of Troutman oversteps it. Oh, a little net code there from Joe Strano. Josh Buckley nowhere to go. And, oh boy, there's a 17. See, the track just clogs up and nowhere for anybody to go. This is going to take a ton of drivers. There you see the 24 on his lid. That's the Brandon Feeney entry on his lid. Josh Buckley getting a little help there. He is going to pull away the Miller Genuine draft entry smoking tonight. Looks like also the 62 of Troutman smoking as he pulled away. Let's see if we can go on board here and watch this from Josh Buckley's helmet camera here tonight. It looked like he was going to be all right, and then, a hard hit, and then they just keep on coming. A rough one there for Josh Buckley. He'll pull the car away, but his night looks like it is going to be over. You see the smoke bellowing out of the back of that machine. And let's watch the number 3 here of Tony Strano. He was involved in this. There you see the spinning 62, Buckley, and then, Combs with just some bad luck there. Watch the track get clogged up here at Darlington. Not a lot of room on the racing surface. Mayhem Junkyard. So that'll change the dynamic of everything here tonight at Darlington. Closing in on halfway, as it is going to be halfway. James Heater is our race leader tonight. A couple drivers are going to come down pit road. DJ Anderson, Mark Jenkins, Jeffrey Souza. Looks like that is Eric Johnson also coming to pit road, and a couple other drivers will join them down there. Taking a look to see who is where, who's one of our biggest movers so far of the race, and old Mr. Consistency, the guy that needs more power, Travis Minto. Even under caution flag, he's going to go give the Donut Media Chevrolet a little bit of scrape. The driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. Well, their Oklahoma this week was featured all over the interwebs and on MAV TV. They had some great coverage of the 35th annual Chili Bowl down there. Last year, our Turin 3 Racing broadcasters got the pleasure to go down there to the Chili Bowl and had ourselves a great time, invited by the folks down there. This year, due to the COVID-19 restrictions, we were not able to attend the 35th annual Chili Bowl, but Travis Minto got a lot of Oklahoma airwaves down there rocking this week. So good for everybody down there in Oklahoma. It's a great race, great venue that race fans, if you haven't seen the Chili Bowl, you definitely need to take a look at the Chili Bowl. You know, Travis Minto, he's going to get there one day. Lights do go out on the iRacing.com pace car. That means here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing for the Trust Me Vodka 122 here from the Darlington Raceway. And it'll be Heater, Murdoch, O'Donnell, Gann, Williamson, Trevarthen, Single, Joe Strano, James Skelton, and Chris Hammett. That's a driver we haven't talked much about here tonight, is the driver of the number 60, or the 906 machine. That is Chris Hammett. He's racing, I believe that is a... Can't quite tell. It's crinkled up like a beer can. Stroll's light entry, I believe that says on his car. There you see the number 30. Great throwback there for Justin Gann also. I still can't get over the Turbo Dork entry. Those brightly 80s colors on this Ford Thunderbird tonight looking absolutely stout as we get ready to go back racing. Come back into the restart zone here and get this one fired back off. Here they come. You're going to hear the motors come to life here as they roar down the front straightaway. Now the back straightaway, they thunder, and it will be the Tide Ride once again storming ahead of James Heater. He's going to be able to come back around here and lead this lap with Richard Murdoch right behind him. Ryan O'Donoghue, and looks like Dalton Williamson was able to pick up a position there, so he moves into the 4th spot. Joe Strano is going to do battle. Currently, that was James Skelton that just worked to the inside of the 43 of Joe Strano. The iconic Richard Petty STP throwback scheme for Joe Strano. Strano also being part of that Victory Junction gang group that they work heavily with Richard Petty Motorsports. So it's good to see the old iconic STP 43. Is Trevarthen up into the wall. Somebody going around there. I believe that's Chris Hammett's going to go around. Sean Butler goes around. Dustin Gainey also involved. So Chris Hammett in the 906 entry, bringing out the 4th caution flag here of the night on lap number 50. Go back and see if we can watch this one. Starts right here. You're going to see Minto up into the wall and then maybe some oil down there. Oh, well, Minto was up there. The 906 tags him, and then Dustin Gainey gets involved, and there was some more action that went on back there. We didn't quite catch all of it right there, as the 88 of Sean Butler was also involved. Let's watch this back. Sean Butler. Oh, he gets tagged by the Harry Gant entry. Sean Butler goes around, and then he comes back out onto the raceway, but he'll be behind the 8-ball a little bit more. So your leaders will take this opportunity to come to pit road and put another set of fresh tires on if they have them. It looks like some drivers will stay out, some drivers will come down. It's a split decision here. It looks like everybody from, I'm going to say, about maybe the 10th position on back coming down. That's Gann, Butler, Combs, Max Terriault, Mark Jenkins, Tony Strano, DJ Anderson, Chris Hammett, who was involved in that wreck, Tim Williams, and Doug Neal, the Simbox driver out of Georgia. Looks like he's cranking on the old Simbox right now, getting his pit information dialed into his crew of what he needs. Dialed the old brake bias back a little bit. I'm being mistaken. I'm being told by the production truck that back in 1987, they did not have a brake bias knob in these cars, so my mistake, as maybe Doug Neal was cranking on the old Simbox, but it wasn't working. So right now, James Heater still our race leader. A couple drivers who have only made one pit stop here tonight are James Heater, Richard Murdoch, Ryan O'Donoghue, Dalton Williamson, Sean Single, looks like Michael Trevarthen, Joe Strano, all the drivers who have only pitted once here tonight. So they're saving their tires for the late run here. We know at the Darlington Raceway, the asphalt here, it is very abrasive. It is like a cheese grater. Race fans, go in your fridge right now, get the block of cheese out, take it outside on your driveways or the road out in front of your house, and just, back and forth with it on the concrete or the asphalt, and just watch how it just shreds the cheese. That is how it shreds the tires here on these Monte Carlos and these Thunderbirds. There won't be much left. You can see the tire buildup on the outside, right up against the wall and down on the apron here tonight. That's not what you want to see. You don't want to get up in those marbles. That's what we just saw happen to the driver of the 919 of Travis Minto. He got up over the marbles too close to the wall, and it just sucked him in, getting the old famous Darlington stripe, causing the 4th caution flag of the evening. Race fans, we hope you were enjoying the show here tonight for the Trust Me Vodka 122 on the Turn 3 Racing Network here with the Red Light Racing League. It's the Red Light Scrambler series for the RB Custom Rigs. If it is your first time tuning in here with us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bit of a bell. Get a notification anytime we go live, whether it's 2 times a week with the Red Light Racing series, whether it's for the RB Custom Rigs or the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified division on Thursday night, and everything in between. We bring dirt track racing, short track racing, all the way to the high banks of the Daytona International Super Speedway. Also, we get to dabble at the Talladega Super Speedway. Talking about Talladega, that's coming up here for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. That's the next time we will see the 1987 Winston Cup cars back onto the track. That's February 8th. Mark that on the calendar. That is a race that you do not want to miss. Yes, race fans, we know you all like the big pack racing. Line them up 2x2, 3x3, even maybe 4 wide racing. Well, we might still see that But what we're going to see is these drivers actually have to lift going into the corners. So that's going to make an interesting race when we go racing at the Talladega Super Speedway. Once again, that is on February the 8th, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But it's the Trust Me Vodka 122 here from the Darlington Raceway. iRacing pace car lights are off, and it is down onto pit road. That means here we go once again. We are getting ready to go back into the restart zone. Green flag is back out, and we are racing. Murdoch getting a great start on the outside. Will he be able to high side Handsome this one to the race lead? Side by side through one, coming out of turn number 2. Murdoch's going to have a huge run down the back straightaway. Murdoch looking to take the race lead. He will over James Heater. Murdoch back to the point here. Look at the battle that's back here. Sean Single trying to get the John Deere up and running. Nothing runs like a deer, but Dalton Williamson says, I got the run. So right now, Dalton will hold on to position number 4. There is James Skelton. Remember, the driver that came into pit road as the race leader back on, I believe that was lap 32. Well, he's knocking on the top 10. Michael Trevarthen just hanging out back here in his Sunoco number 31. Rob Jenkins in the Harry Gant throwback. Look how iconic it is right here, just in this one picture shot. You see Joe Strano in the Kings, number 43. You see Harry Gant right there in the Skull Bandit, number 33. You see Terry Labonte in his number 31 Sunoco entry. And there you see right out ahead, there's the it's not the Folgers car. There's no Tim Richmond here tonight. That's the Maxwell Health machine. So many iconic paint schemes here tonight, just buried right here in this one picture shot. I wish we could say the John Deere machine is a throwback, but really, I guess Chad Little ran it back in the late 1990s on the NASCAR scene, and that's when it was a Pontiac, I believe, before they switched to run the Ford. Caution flag back out onto the speedway, though. It will involve the man from north of the border and one of our Australian friends. So right now, 3 countries involved in this one: Canada, America, and Australia, as Mark Jenkins is also wrapped up in this one. That's not what you wanted to see from Mark Jenkins, as he was trying to rebound. It looks like he may have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. So our 5th caution flag of the night flies here on lap number 57. Let's take a look back. Well, this is going to happen a little bit ahead here. I believe is with Mark Jenkins. Oh, yeah, right in front of Max Terriel. Max just nowhere to go, and looks like that is Tim Williams. Nowhere to go also is... Here comes Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien actually just locks it up. He didn't actually get involved in that. He just locked him up, came to a stop on the speedway. So that's why it triggers us and tells us that Kevin O'Brien was involved, but he was not. Watch the Levi Garrett machine go off into the corner, just lose it. Looks like Tim Williams tried to drive down the banking to get away from the spinning 999s. Unfortunately, Mark Jenkins came down the banking. Not of his doing. Gravity kind of fed him back down the speedway. So everybody coming to pit road. A lot of those drivers that did just come to pit road, like Rob Jenkins and Travis Sminto and Souza and Gann, they will all stay out. It looks like Tony Strano's motor has expired in the good wrench number 3. He'll have to take the tow to pit road. James Skelton to come to pit road also. Everybody but 4 drivers on the lead lap take this chance to come to pit road, and as they get 4 tires and fuel to see if they can stretch it the rest of the way, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back here from the Darlington Raceway for the Trust Me Vodka 122 for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Darlington Raceway in South Carolina for the Trust Me Vodka 122. These drivers are pulling their belts tight as it'll be Rob Jenkins, Justin Gann, Ryan O'Donnell, Richard Murdoch, and then it looks like it's Dalton Williamson on our ticker and timing and scoring here, getting ready to go back racing. 60 laps completed. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. Find where your favorite driver is currently running on the speedway. Is he up inside the top 5? Is he buried way back like these two, James Skelton and TJ Anderson? 2 of your previous winners here in the Scrambler series. They're going to have to come from deep in the field here now. Pace car down and away. Getting ready. It'll be 61 laps completed when we go back racing here as we enter the restart zone. Green flag in the air and a great start by Justin Gann, the RB Custom Rigs, number 30. A little contact there, it looked like, from the angle that we had from the production crew, as it'll be Justin Gann clearing Rob Jenkins as they come down the back straightaway. Murdoch's going to clear Ryan O'Donnell there for that position, but it's going to be Dalton Williamson and James Heater that'll do the tango with the lady in black down here in turn number 3 and 4. Looks like the tango is going to be won there by Ryan O'Donnell, so O'Donnell has the position as now Murdoch's going to take a look to the inside going into turn number 1 on Jenkins. Remember, Jenkins has the older tires of this front group. He has to wait for the tires to really equalize. So right now, Jenkins will fall into position number 3. He has moved up 14 spots tonight. Ryan O'Donnell right behind him in the turbo dork paints. Ford Thunderbirds. Here comes Dalton Williamson. Will Williamson get underneath Ryan O'Donnell here down the front straightaway? He took the peak, but he will not be able to make the pass. It is still Justin Gann out front. Sean Butler's trying to rebound with some damage. He gets around the Chris Hammett entry. So Butler now picks up position number 10. Chris Hammett now battling with somebody that looks like that is the Jeffrey Souza machine. So Souza picks up the 11th position from Hammett. Butler picks up a top 10 position for the time being. As now it looks like Ryan O'Donnell took a peek, and now here comes Dalton Williamson. Williamson going to bounce it off the outside wall, but here comes Murdoch also battling for the race lead. We're going to have 2 battles inside. Contact. Dalton Williamson going to go up on the wall. Big trouble on the front straightaway here as the number 61 of Dalton Williamson made contact with Ryan O'Donnell, and he went hard up into the outside wall. I'm not sure was that. There was another car right there in that battle. Not quite sure who the car was that was right there with that group, but the 61 definitely losing a lot of spots. Ryan O'Donnell carries on. He's going to stay currently in the 4th position. Michael Trevarthen getting passed up by Sean Single. Single is running like a deer right now with 25 laps to go. I believe this is a one-stop race still. We're going to have to make one more pit stop tonight before the finish of this race. Dalton Williamson going to come to pit row with the Rev Esports BK Paints number 61. Justin Gann still has the race lead, but he is being hounded. The RB Custom Rigs driver out of Virginia. He's got the Adventure in Pixels 01 of South Carolina's Richard Murdoch right behind him, and Murdoch has the fresher tires as he'll look to the inside at the front, on the front straightaway, just taking a peek as it will be Richard Murdoch as Justin Gann lifts, but as he lifts, here comes Ryan O'Donnell in the turbo dork entry. Ryan going to try to work the bottom of the speedway. Here comes Justin Gann powering back, and as he powers back, here comes James Heater now, and is Ryan O'Donnell going to go from making a bid for second back to fourth. He sails her off into the corner. Going to get a great run, but that outside momentum always carries down the straightaway. Gann takes second. Heater at the line is going to be credited with a third at the timing and scoring loop. So Richard Murdoch running for his life right now, letting these drivers all battle behind him. He says, you know what, guys, I really like what I see in the mirror. Continue to battle. Right now, he's got the freshest tires in the top two, as Justin Gann has 6-lap older tires. James Heater has fresh tires, and it's fresh tires for Ryan O'Donnell, and Rob Jenkins is still hanging on back here in the Harry Gant Skull Bandit entry. He is sitting 5th currently. Those old tires able to hold on, lost a couple spots on the restart, but is still able to hold into the top 5, which that is a good run on any night, not just here at the Darlington Raceway. Now here comes Ryan O'Donnell once again taking a bid to the inside. Can he clear and slide up in front of the 18? He will. O'Donnell back to running P number 3. Driver out of Canton, Michigan. Inside the top 3. He wasn't overly excited for this race, and now the Thunderbird is thundering ahead. He's actually running down the RB Custom Rigs, number 30 of Justin Gann. 20 laps to go. He's going to have to make a bid here real quick on the Justin Gann entry to get around. Ryan right to the back bumper that time as he had to lift a little bit. Look who's peeking into the background. The Trust Me Vodka 88 of Sean Butler, the title sponsor tonight on that 88 machine. Sean Butler trying to do it for the hometown boys. James Skelton, who restarted back outside the top 10, has now moved into the 8th position as he just got around Sean Single. Jeffrey Souza right there also behind him, looking to see if they can close in on the number 11. Everybody pretty much stretched out. Your best battle is right here for that second spot with 18 laps to go. Justin Gann still holding serve. Makes you wonder with those old tires on the number 30, when is the good going to wear off, or when is the good going to wear off for Ryan O'Donnell as these drivers out here? A couple of them peeked out of line for just a second. Joe Shrano right there in the STP oil treatment, number 43. You see him riding right up against the outside wall. Gann continuing to hold off Ryan O'Donnell. 17 laps to go. This is riding off the driver's side camera, facing back on the 3rd position machine. Hear how much, though, Justin Gann has to work the throttle. You know, what do you say with about, 16 laps to go here? What do you say we do something we haven't done in a while? Let's go ahead and turn it up just a touch. As the battle for the race lead, as we just come back, and your front two runners going to spin it down to the inside. Richard Murdoch involved. Also, Justin Gann is involved. No caution flag for the time being. Boy, oh boy, is that going to change things up. Richard Murdoch and Justin Gann making contact, battling for the race lead. That is going to send Murdoch to the inside wall. Let's take a look back as we just came back live. Oh, big bobble from Murdoch getting down the track right there. Justin Gann was peeking the nose. Let's see if we can find a different angle over top here. Coming out of turn number 2. Oh, two drivers coming for the same real estate. Murdoch, wrong place, wrong time. Justin Gann just stuck the nose there. And, man, that's two drivers battling for the race lead. That's not what you want to see, though, as we're coming down to the closing laps here. As there you see Murdoch. He's buried back into the 16th position now. Ryan O'Donnell, though, coming to get 10 laps to go as he is hanging it all out. 10.5 laps at this point for Ryan O'Donnell. Bud's new colors on this machine, new sponsor this week. Could he last 10 more laps out front? He's got James Heater behind him. A double high five this time from the flagman. 10 laps to go. Ryan O'Donnell running for his life right now. Could be one of the biggest wins of his iRacing career if he could just go 10 more laps is the question. 10 more laps for the driver out of Canton, Michigan. James Heater is not going to go away without a fight. Lap traffic will play a factor here tonight. Oh, Jenkins into the outside wall. That's going to allow Sean Butler to get around. Sean Butler now picking up the 3rd position here. 9 laps to go. What does the Butler have to say about this? Can he work back into the picture here for a win? Ryan O'Donnell goes up, puts it right up against the boards there, scraping some more of the turbo door paint off the side. One driver, Max Terriot, is going to work to the inside of the speedway. He's down off the pace. He's going to stay out of the way. That's the gentleman's agreement from a lot of the racers here tonight at the Darlington Raceway, is just to move down out of the groove. So your leaders work around some of the slower lap traffic down to the inside. That's Zach Mitchell. He gets out of the way. 8 laps to go. The battle for the race lead is still right here, raging on. Ryan O'Donnell, winless this season. James Heater, winless this season. Sean Butler lurking in the background. He'll come off turn 2, and he is there. He is about a half a second back. You might as well call this a 3-horse race for the lead here tonight. Closing in at the end of the Trust Me Vodka. 1:22 here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. Race fans, if you think about getting up right now, sit back down. You don't need the soda pop right now. You don't need the popcorn, because if you get it, it's going to wind up on your lap. Closing laps. 7 laps to go here. 3 drivers under the blanket. There's James Heater right there, taking a peek to the inside. Not going to have the run. Now he gets a little bit of the draft down the back straightaway. He's going to show the nose to the inside of Ryan O'Donnell going into turn number 3. O'Donnell has the outside preferred lane as, oh, James Heater, a little bit of a bobble. Can he hold serve there? Ryan O'Donnell has to lift coming off the corner. That's going to give James Heater the race lead. 6 laps to go. James Heater now to the point. Here comes Sean Butler. The Butler wrapped up into caution flags, 2 wrecks that were none of his doing. Trapped the lap down because of a caution under the green flag pit cycle, and now battling for the race lead. Rob Jenkins starting to close in. He was the fastest driver on the speedway just last time by. Does he have anything left here in the late stages of this one? This time by at the flag stand, we will see. Just 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go in the Trust Me Vodka 1:22 here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. Justin Gann isn't out of this one either. Neither is Joe Strano, and here comes James Skelton too. They're all right here. The top 7 are within 1.5 seconds. One mistake by any of your race leaders, and that will put those drivers right back into the fold. Sean Butler now getting to the inside of Ryan O'Donnell. As Ryan looks like he's going to try and power back. A great run that time off of turn number 2. A couple drivers having to come to pit road here. Rob Jenkins having to come to pit road. Zach Mitchell was also down on pit road, but Ryan O'Donnell holds serve there over Sean Butler, holding on to that position. They've actually just opened up a little bit of a gap over Justin Gann, who sits back there in the 4th spot. Oh, Ryan O'Donnell got a bobble that time going into turn 3. Mitchell rolling the bottom of the speedway. He'll get out of the race leader's way. He is well down on power here tonight. It'll be 3 laps to go at Darlington. James Heater starting to open up a little bit of a gap here tonight. Right now the deficit, a half a second between the top 2. Butler looking to the inside once again. Justin Gann is closing in on this battle also. There you see the distance. Ryan O'Donnell really got a great run going into the corner. Will he be able to carry the momentum off the corner? Sean Butler closes. It'll be 2 laps to go here tonight. 3 more miles of racing. Gann taking a peek with the RB Custom Rigs. Number 30 down to the inside there, but was not able to. Sean Butler's going to get a great run off of turn 2. He'll work back to the inside down the back straightaway for P number 2. Ryan O'Donnell still holds it in the Turbo Dork entry, but it looks like Ryan's going to have to give the position up. Sean Butler's going to slide up in front of him. He will take over P number 2 now, but here comes the number 30 of Justin Gann taking a peek also. But it'll be 1 lap to go, presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. James Heater is running away with it. Sean Butler is sitting there, P2. Ryan O'Donnell's just trying to hang on for a podium finish here tonight. Here comes the RB Custom Rigs. Here comes James Skelton. He'll dive to the inside. Looks like he's going to get blocked. Oh, more contact down into the corner. Joe Strano up into the outside wall, but it will be coming out of turn number 4 to pick up his first win of the season. James Heater will win here tonight. Sean Butler, Ryan O'Donnell finishes 3rd. Justin Gann is 4th. And how about a rally back for James Skelton? He'll come home, P number 5. Joe Strano falls in the closing laps back to, it looks like, the 6th position. Souza is 7th. Trevarthen is 8th. Tim Combs will come across 9th. And Sean Single in 10th. That's your top 10. Richard Murdoch rallies back and has a solid 11th place finish. That'll help him in the points here tonight. But your winner is James Heater. So James Heater's name now next week will be displayed in green as he wins. As he'll do some celebrating for all you race fans here tonight in the Trust Me Vodka 122 here from the Darlington Raceway. He goes to victory lane for the first time this season. The Tide Ride will go to victory lane. It's always good to see that car go back to victory lane. Darrell Waltrip making that ride famous. So as we get ready for your post-race show, race fans, don't go anywhere because the Renaissance Nutrition post-race show is coming up next.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Darlington Raceway for your post-race show, presented by Renaissance Nutrition. 90 laps have been completed here in the Trust Me Vodka 122 from the Darlington Raceway, and we have caught up with a couple of your podium finishers here tonight. James Heater is your winner here at the Darlington Raceway. He ran a good race, clean ride in the Tide Ride. Unfortunately, we don't have James Heater here to talk to in Victory Lane. He's already celebrating with his team, and he's, well, that's, I guess, all we have to say about that is he's just celebrating. He didn't lead the most laps here, race fans, but he was able to work around the Turbo Dork Paints machine. The Trust Me Vodka machine just couldn't get there in time, so James Heater goes to Victory Lane. He is your winner tonight in the Trust Me Vodka 122. We do have your second place driver here, though. That is the driver of the 88 of Sean Butler. Sean, it was an eventful night for this Trust Me Vodka 88 crew. You had a very fast hot rod in the first stages of this race. You were able to lead some laps, but that untimely caution coming out there, putting you well behind the 8 ball. How did you work your way back through the minefield here tonight at Darlington?
Well, I can say it wasn't easy. I'm not sure I had a clean corner on this car after that big wreck, but the crew did a really good job fixing it up. Still had lots of speed in it. Just ran out of time. Ryan was running really good line and stuff. It was really hard to get past him, and I just lost track of Heater. I couldn't catch him. Couldn't pass Ryan when he did. So, congrats to James for the win, and Ryan, nice hard fought third.
Yeah, good hard battle there you had with Ryan O'Donnell. Ryan really made you work for P number 2. You got there in a hurry, and it was your 3 cars, you, Heater, and Ryan, all right there under a blanket in those closing laps. Did you just need to get around Ryan a little bit sooner?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I had something for Heater. I mean, I ran them both down. I think Heater was probably saving his stuff. I'd pretty much used up my tires getting up there, because I think the race started 18th or something like that. So to drive all the way back up to second, I think I did that last time I was at Darlington, and just come up just a little short again. But overall, great race for the Trust Me Vodka and Gen X sponsored machine here. Hopefully we can get a win before I'm done for the season.
Yeah, Gen X provided you a great setup underneath that Trust Me Vodka machine. It's got to be great, though, to podium with Trust Me Vodka on the hood and the side panels of this 88 tonight, and then being the sponsor here tonight at the Darlington Raceway.
Yep, it's pretty special to finally get a podium this season. Unfortunately, it's a very short season for me. Only got 2 more races, so hopefully we can get another 1 or 2 of these and have a good showing before I'm done for the season.
Well, you have a good showing here tonight with the old 1987 Winston Cup machines in the Trust Me Vodka 122. Who made it all possible? We know Gen X and Trust Me Vodka on this car, but who else is behind the scenes?
My teammates over at Need for Speed, James, DJ, and Josh. We did some practice during the week trying to figure out the best way around here. I was not very good initially, and after some work, we finally got it all going pretty good. Me and James were pretty fast on, qualifying laps, and that showed in the qualifying. DJ was just fast on the long runs. He just, didn't lose much speed. Luckily, I'm not sure you ever really got to show it. He got wrecked there when I got wrecked pretty good, but unfortunately, it seems like that's the thing that happens with these A7 cars. They're a little different to drive, so it was just unfortunate having that big, huge wreck there, and then all the cars that were wrecked and cars that didn't have a lot of damage, and it was really hard to get through the traffic, and I think that caused some melee, but overall good race, and I just want to thank you guys up there in the booth, and looking forward to a couple weeks from now.
There you heard it from the driver of the 88, Sean Butler. You heard him attest it's only going to be a couple more weeks for him in that 88 crew. He will be going to get some back surgery done, so right now he is racing in a little bit of an uncomfort state in the Trust Me Vodka Gen X number 88. So for him to come out here and battle here at the Darlington Raceway and dance with the lady in black, he will finish a strong P number 2. Coming home running in your 3rd position tonight, they slapped new colors on the car just hours before this race here tonight. And it's the driver out of the Full Throttle Racing stables. It's the Turbo Dork Paints machine, Ryan O'Donnell. Ryan, new paints and a fast Ford Thunderbird here tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited about both.
Well, you're excited. We can hear it. You're pretty much speechless already. Tell us about your night, though. Talk about the end of this race. You wind up taking the race lead there in the final stages. You had some contact with, I believe that was the 61 of Dalton Williamson. How did you make this Turbo Dork machine so fast tonight and being able to hold off some of the best racers in red light racing?
I gotta say, tonight was a real wild ride. Halfway through the race, around lap 44, 45, my sound went out and I rode the rest of the race pretty much deaf to anything going on around me. I apologize to Dalton for getting into him later on, because no spotters will do that to you. But yeah, I guess with no sound, no distractions, you kind of enter a Zen state and somehow get faster. And I'm glad I was able to put on a pretty good show near the end there, and almost got the Turbo Dork paint right up into number 1 on our first outing.
Yeah, it's their first outing on this 98 machine, and the news broke, I believe it was yesterday afternoon is when I officially saw the press release come across. And how did this deal all unfold with you and the Turbo Dork paints?
I liked doing model as a hobby in my free time, and I have some Turbo Dork paints in my supply, and they're some of the most fun and creative paints I have because they color shift on you and they look metallic, and it's really, really neat. And I thought it would be fun to represent them, but I couldn't find a really good logo to run, so I contacted them directly, and they decided to go above and beyond on this, and I am incredibly excited to represent them.
Well, it's a beautiful looking 1987 paint. You were able to put a little Darlington stripe on it here and there tonight, and well, maybe they'll be able to, as we see the sparks fly with you and Dalton Williamson there, as it was an unfortunate little mishap, but the car still looks good. So I guess the paint that you slapped on her is pretty tough and durable also.
Tough, durable, and pretty radical.
Well, you gotta love it. Ryan, though, a strong podium finish here tonight. You were almost able to hold off James Heater and Sean Butler, but a third place finish still is gonna look good in the point standings, and it's gotta feel pretty good. You already said it did. Who made it all possible back there in the full throttle cam?
First, I gotta thank Turbo Dork Paints for getting on board with me, taking a chance. I also have to thank my teammate, Richard Murdoch. He did a really strong showing tonight. Sorry what happened with him with Justin about 20 laps to go. And then everybody who watches me, my dad, my brother, my aunts and uncles, my grandmother, her friend, and hopefully some more people from Turbo Dork.
Well, there you heard it from the driver out of Canton, Michigan. Ryan O'Donnell will round out our podium finishers with the brand new Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. A third place finish, led a couple laps here tonight. He'll go now into the Kentucky Speedway for another 90 laps next week with a brand new Turbo Dork paint. Look forward to seeing that next week. Congratulations to all of our podium finishers here tonight at the Darlington Raceway in the Trust Me Vodka 122. That is your Renaissance Nutrition post-race show with your top 3 finishers here tonight. James Heater, unfortunately, we didn't get to talk to him, but let's take a quick look here, if we can, at our unofficial race results here tonight in the Trust Me Vodka 122. Find where your favorite driver ended up finishing. 17 drivers were able to finish on the lead lap here tonight. So it's good. As you see, the 86 of James Skelton finishes 5th. He is in green. Well, that's because he has locked himself into the championship hunt. DJ Anderson also has locked himself in. And now, James Heater next week will now get the green board behind his number to compete at the Kentucky Speedway. We're just 3 races into the season, and all 3 races have been amazing showings for these red light racers. Rounding out our field down there, it looks like that was Keith Haney. He did not take to the green flag here tonight, so a 34th place finish. Thomas Talent, a rough night also with Bruce Potter. Josh Buckley, we saw him go for a wild ride. Ethan Troutman also having himself a rough night. All those drivers from about, well, the 23rd position on back. It was just rough sailing. But tonight, this race, we knew it was going to be a tough one here at the Darlington Raceway. It was the Trust Me Vodka 122. Make sure you head on over to trustmevodka.com and pick out your flavor of vodka today, or already pre-mixed drinks. 21 and over, though, race fans, to indulge in the Trust Me Vodka brand, so make sure that you are 21 and over to dabble in the cocktails. But for everybody at Red Light Racing, RB Custom Rigs, Green Forestry Supply, Renaissance Nutrition, and of course, us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed this show here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. You can catch more of the Red Light Racing Series in action just on Thursday night when the Checker Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series heads back to the short tracks. More short track racing action coming your way. And of course, next Monday night when the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series goes racing in Kentucky. It's the Xfinity cars coming out for the first time this season. It'll be 90 laps at the Kentucky Speedway. Till we see you there, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we will see you at the races.